They're eating the dog. They're eating the dog. They're eating the cats. What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on?
Thank everybody who tunes in and showed up to the broadcast and checks out any of our other material. Much appreciated. We're trying to get a message out there and get a dialogue started, and you are a very important key of that. All right, so obviously more has happened. Things are getting crazier, but as you see, this is the Minorities Report, so we're going to talk about minority issues. And I was just watching, I have a video here that I'm going to watch with you guys that really pissed me off, and I wrote a pretty nasty statement in the comments. And I've talked about this issue multiple times before, this video, but this topic right now is about white liberals and what exactly what Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were talking about. And the Republicans like to use this as a weapon, and the liberals play right into it. But the white liberal, that's the problem. They're not all, but the one that is the problem is the one that wants the status quo to remain the same. Right? Where I do appreciate what Joe Biden's done, I feel like he's one of those where he feels like he has to help black people rather than black people helping themselves and doing things on their own. And where I like the thought process, it's degrading and it's belittling to black people when white liberals act like this, because my issue is like this. White liberals, if you want to help, get rid of all the races, out them, and then get rid of them. How you get rid of them, I don't care. That's your fucking decision. You figure it out. But you have no problem shipping off Latinos to foreign countries and concentration camps. How about we do that with all the races? When I see you turn against the racists and not have Thanksgiving dinner with them instead, then I'll believe in you. But what I'm seeing right now is that you're all false. You're just as bad as the MAGA on the other side. I always said that the progressives were MAGA. They're the exact same. They don't want to hear anyone else's point of view. It's their way or the highway. And if you don't like it, then you're not only wrong, but you're evil. You are the devil. You are the worst person in the world. But what we're going to do right now, with the irony of this, is the Minorities Report is now going to speak on the Majority Report. We have a video of Sam, Emma, and Matt talking about the Democratic primary in Texas. Let me see. And the name of this video is How James Tallarico Crushed the Dem Establishment. How he crushed the Dem establishment. I would love to see how they make sense out of this, right? Because he wasn't running against the Dem establishment. First, before we start the video, let me say that what progressives will not tell you is that he out-earned her. She was supposed to have all these all this corporate money, right? And backed by the machine. She was backed by, as they say, the Dem establishment. None of them endorsed her. The only one was Kamala Harris. And we all know the Democratic Party does not endorse her anymore. So he out-earned her $20 million to $8 million. They don't mention that. Progressives will not mention that at all, because that dispels their rumor that she was getting all this AIPAC money. Do you know that he also supports Israel and their right to defend themselves? And all of the hearings and things you've seen about Jasmine Crockett, when has she ever been a shill for Israel? Please tell me when. Show me the video. I would love to hear it. Did you know in the hearings that she actually debated the money and that we're sending them? But it doesn't matter anyway, because once again, he supports Israel. So the fact that you saying her getting AIPAC money was just a lie to help him. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump in this video though. This, I tell you right now, this one pissed me off, and I'm probably gonna get pissed off while we're watching it. I'm sorry in advance, and I'm not sorry. But here we go.
Politics are not where we've talked about this. Is not
not great on Israel.
Not all of our politics. Not great on Israel.
It's also not running in the bluest state in the country.
But it's a contrast as to say, like, Tallarico, he supports the PRO Act. Our friend David Griscom has a really good piece in Jacobin speaking about this, and how also he identifies a villain. The billionaires. Tallarico will unequivocally talk about how the billionaires are the problem and that we need to be standing up to them with his message in Texas.
What? He says we need to stand up to the billionaires. There's tons of footage of Jasmine Crockett saying the exact same thing, except saying it in hearings to billionaires, to other Congress people, in congressional votes. She has made that clear that's what she's trying to do, is to stop the billionaire control of the government. And once again, they're making it seem like she's for that. They're not even mentioning her as his opponent and who he beat.
You can still be sort of moderate as on issues like that, and identify the villains in a way that like actually builds political power and builds a constituency that can be lasting. What I also like about Tallarico and how he was able to win yesterday is the constituency that he cultivated being a salient way to defeat Trumpism in 2026. He just was absolutely dominant in this primary with Latino voters, particularly in the south and western parts of the state. He ran up the numbers with Latino voters around Houston. The Latino voters are key here to because Trump made such historic gains with them in 2024.
So why did those Latinos go to Trump over to Trump in 2024? Because they're racist. 100% clear. We all saw that. We heard what they said. And then you're wondering why they voted against a black woman? Who was out there fighting against ICE and doing the facility checks and getting the information out there, what was going on in there, besides Jasmine Crockett?
I just want to paint a picture. Imagine being a free-willed, loving kiddo, and all of a sudden one day you're thrown on a plane, you're sent 1,500 miles away from home, and you don't understand what's going on. All you know is that your friends are gone, you have one set of pants, one shirt, your dad washes your pants and your shirt out every single day and then hangs it by a unit to try to dry it overnight. You don't have your mom, who is currently 4 months pregnant with your sibling. And frankly, at this point in time, you've gotten depressed to the extent that you've stopped eating. This is the story of Liam. The sad reality of what we found when we went to Dilley was that Liam was not the only one. You have so many mothers in this facility. They didn't care about themselves. I'm going to be perfectly honest. They were concerned about their children. We heard the same story over and over and over about how they were depressed.
We love to grab up some citizens wrongfully. We know it happened down in Florida. Y'all may not care because it was Florida, but it happened down in Florida where we had a U.S. citizen that was sitting in jail for 48 hours because of yet another mistake of ICE. In Milwaukee, we had 3 citizens, a toddler and his mother and the grandmother, that were detained and sent to an immigration detention center after they reportedly were overheard speaking Spanish. In short, what we don't want is to create even more issues, and that's what we're doing. I would never imagine, and I'm gonna be honest, I have never seen law enforcement. Now, I haven't had to deal with cases that involved ICE. I'm going to be honest about that. But I have never seen a police officer, whether he was city or whether he was a county sheriff's deputy, do the kind of things that I've been seeing. Busting out windows, kicking down doors. And to be perfectly honest, if that's the operations of ICE, we probably need to work on that as well. But at the end of the day, if this is what they are going to do and how they are going to conduct themselves, I can tell you, I'm sorry, this is about safety. Sorry, I will yield.
Yeah, I mean, here, this is very simple. First of all, I don't know my country anymore, right? When we are looking at situations that are so disruptive to our communities. And again, as you talked about the hero who wasn't necessarily wearing a cape, but instead had her coffee cup, when we think about the disruption to everyone because of something that really is a civil penalty, I want to get this across to your viewers, because I don't think that people understand that as Republicans oftentimes say things like, oh, they're illegal, they're illegal. According to federal law, you literally can get a traffic ticket that is more serious than what this is. It's a civil penalty. And so to have these guys disrupting you as you are trying to pray, whether you're an immigrant or not, you're disrupting a place of worship. Or tell me about what type of liability, I mean, even if you don't care about the people themselves, but tell me about the type of liability that we may face if somebody literally is trying to seek care and then you take them away from that care and into our custody, right? Like, it doesn't make sense, not to mention the disruption that it causes for everybody else that's seeking care. And now we're talking about the kids. We're talking about parents not taking their kids to get the education that they need.
You guys used all the information that she got out, all the attention that she was bringing to it. You used it, and now you're turning against her, saying that Tallarico got this coalition. What did he say and do? What did he do in the debate against her that made him such a head and shoulders above? How is he different from what we voted for every single time before but a white Christian? What are you talking about? Emma, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what kills me about this show? The show is, what happened to the show is that Sam is a guy who came from, like, you know what I mean, urban setting, from an urban middle class at most setting. Now he is with a overprivileged white girl and her fucking simp ass buddy who he just co-signs anything that Emma says, and Emma puts no real basis into anything she thinks through. Nothing.
He also was pretty dominant in the white suburbs, but like this is his appeal to those groups is like a path to victory potentially in Texas. But it's not just the groups that he appeals to. Really, the fact that he identifies billionaires as the villain and he speaks about like Christianity in this humane manner.
She did the same things. She did the same things. And they also don't talk about his coalition he brought together had no black people in it. He said nothing to them. He didn't want them because he knew he wasn't going to get them, and he didn't try to. So he got all the people who are against everything that black people represent. That's his coalition. That's what Emma is. The Majority Report used so many videos of Jasmine Crockett in congressional hearings and in press conferences. Used so much of it and said, oh, yeah, this is what we need. We need a fighter. We need someone who's fiery. Now they're saying, oh, we need someone who's electable. We need someone who's nice, white, and quiet. It's lies. They knew they were going to lose, so what they did was they put a whole bunch of money behind them, got every little white boy on the internet rooting for him against her, and then they smeared her with that Tallarico was getting blocked by on Colbert. That was the move that did it. That's why it wasn't a blowout. That was the move that did it. The first try was that third-party candidate to take the Muslim vote away from her. Do you not see this? How can you not see how they're completely flipping sides right now?
Crockett's comments about saying Latinos have a slave mentality also were circulated a lot and had an impact on this race. But I mean, she has strengths too, and we'll see where her career takes her at this point.
Where is it going to take her?
I'm more encouraged that the candidate that's replacing her is more progressive and is actually a Justice Democrat. But I am just happy that her style of really individualized, factionalized politics that puts forward like this kind of clapback, rot within the Democratic Party that's less focused on like collectivism and more on individual achievements and there's like a good amount of narcissism in how she campaigned. That was dealt a decisive blow because that has had success in factionalizing Democratic voters and diluting the power of, say, like the kind of insurgent populist parts of the party.
So what does this mean? When did she become the problem with the Democratic Party? When did she become the issue with what's going on in the party with the clapback style? Because you used it while she was doing it, especially when she was going at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, here's the other issue about that as well, is that if you look at what progressives are doing, they're laundering Marjorie Taylor Greene's character. They're forgiving all the racism, and they're trying to make her like this stalwart of like all their principles and everything like that. They just look past the fact that she was a racist all that time. They're fine with it. Because it's not about, they don't care about race. They only care about racism in order to get their, most white liberals and progressives, they vote for their gay son or gay cousin or their gay friend or their trans whatever. They vote for someone they know that's going to get directly affected, and they want that person to get all the rights and everything, but they could care less about the black people who had to die, get lynched, who are financially set back for their life because of what happened to their ancestors. These people don't care. They don't care that black people get incarcerated. That's why when they keep trying to say, "Oh yeah, Biden was racist because you said this about segregation," they don't really mean that. They don't really mean that, nor do they care, because they didn't really look into that. They're just using that as something to catch black votes. And what this right here is showing you is that they found a way to just eliminate black voting power. They'll just take the Latinos out. Like I told everybody, this is the replacement theory. This is the great replacement theory. They are happy to have the Latinos. He had no black votes, and they don't care or address that. They address that she had no white votes and Latino votes. It's her fault that the people who have continuously been racist against the black community continue to be racist against the black community. It's her fault. She created this hostile style. This bitch right here loves Hassan Piker. Who's been more divisive in the Democratic Party besides Hassan Piker? Who? No one. But she loves that because he's a white guy, as he says he is. I mean, he's brown to me, but he's a white guy. So that's fine. He can do that. He can be like that. He can make millions of dollars off the misery of other people. And that's fine. But Jasmine Crockett, someone who did so much for the Latino community. Hassan Piker has done nothing for the Latino community. Fucking this bitch right here has done nothing for the Latino community. Tallarico has done nothing for his own community. She fought against ICE. She made sure that the what's going on in the facilities was seen. Jasmine Crockett did, but you don't care about that. She's created the clapback style. You said you wanted a fighter, but who's more of a fighter than a black woman? She could just be successful on her own. She is accomplished and she is accredited. She has credentials. These Tallarico has none of that. He's going to be with another bunch of white Christian males who look down on everybody else and judge them. It's funny. It's funny how she's the problem now. That is rich. And I'm mad because Sam didn't put her in her place and say, no, you're wrong about that. We used that and we needed that throughout this time. That kept us involved in what was going on, even though they had not one chance to win anything. Instead, they put it all on Hakeem Jeffries and Jasmine Crockett. It's all on the black people. The Democrats didn't do anything wrong. It's all, and Kamala Harris. It's all on the black people. It's not Tim Walz. Tim Walz is right there with Kamala Harris, but he's fine. It's not his fault. It's all the black people's fault. Kamala Harris was given 3 months to run a presidential campaign against one that had been running for 8 years. And she still was close. But it's all her fault. It's all her fault. I get it. It's her and Merrick Garland. It's everybody's fault except yours. You're blaming her for you putting a megaphone to what she's been doing in Congress. You are the one that's praised it. But now that you have your Muslim mayor in New York, and you have your Latino candidate in AOC, and you won your Texas, your Latino guy in Texas, white presenting, of course, all of them. Except, well, I mean, Mom Donna's not white presenting, but Arabs are pretty much like just like white people. They don't like black people either. I know. But now everything they do, everything they do is just amazing, and they've done nothing. They've done nothing but keep the status quo, which is what you want. This is why, if you notice, all progressives are going away from saying they're socialists and saying they're capitalists. Notice this. Look at this, because they are capitalists. Capitalist is a way to keep white people in power and as the fucking what they see as the norm. That's all that is. Capitalism is going to keep that, and it's going to keep this oligarchy. They want to keep it like it is. They don't want to change it. Don't believe them when they say it. Emma comes from money. I'm sure she married into money as well. These people are not concerned with the minorities, the real minorities, the brown Mexicans, the ones that they call Negron, the Panamanians, the Cubans, dark-skinned Cubans, dark-skinned Brazilians. They don't care about us. They care about the Selenas, the Jennifer Lopez's, the Bad Bunnies. They don't care about us. And this right here, with them putting this on Jasmine Crockett now and saying she's so horrible, then you got a lot of black people out there saying that she ran a bad campaign. No, she didn't run a fake campaign. Propaganda. She didn't run propaganda. They say that Tallarico was getting blocked by Congress, right? By the Democratic machine. The same lie they always say. He was on The View. He was on News Nation. He was on Bill Maher. He was on Joe Rogan. And he was on Colbert. Which one of those shows was she on or invited her to speak? And how different is her message from his, that he was the candidate, is because of electability. You people don't believe that a black person is electable. You want a white presenting male. It's always about electability with you guys. And if you even go to the interviews of the Texans that voted, they would say, oh, yeah, I did like Jasmine, but it was, it's electability. I told you before, and I'll say it again, this is Beto O'Rourke all over again. The exact same thing. Where he's going to fail in this primary is when it comes to guns. Or unless he does what Fetterman did when you guys still backed him, and he'll just change his position on in the middle of nowhere. Fracking and guns, he'll get destroyed in Texas. Same reason why Cruz won. But you don't care about that. You don't care about the Republicans that voted in this primary were higher than ever before, because the Republicans didn't want that black woman. And you just showed the Republicans again that you are the same as them. You just don't say it. This is why this is what they say about you, because you are just liars. You're racist. You're fucking bigots. And Emma saying this shit about Jasmine Crockett, fuck this bitch all the way. I have no more respect for her. With the little bit that I have no more respect. I've unfollowed the Majority Report because Sam has no backbone when it comes to the shit that she says. And if he agrees with her, then fuck him too. And I was a huge fan of his. One of the biggest. I'm tired of fucking privileged white people shitting on black people and telling them how they have to act. Because Gavin Newsom does the same thing that you're saying, that clapback nature, and that changed the whole climate of the interaction with Democrats and Trump. This is why y'all don't defend those black reporters that he talks down to and mistreats. You people are just, man, you are showing yourselves. And just because I'm saying this, I'm not like the other idiots. I'm not going to jump and go vote for Republican, but I'm not helping you guys anymore, because now the best part about it is you guys suffer just like we suffer when you vote badly. So keep voting badly. Keep doing stupid stuff, because my people can take it. We've already been downtrodden and stepped on, but you guys aren't used to it, and you won't last. I'm just waiting to see all you guys avoid going to war, who are the ones who talk patriotism, but don't want you or your children to ever have to fight in a war. This dumb bitch fucking supported the uncommitted movement. She did. Why don't they talk about Gaza anymore? I'm going to ask this every time, too. I don't never hear nothing about Gaza no more. That's because these people wanted Trump to win, because they make more money that way. They make more of a profile that way. People listen to them more that way. Emma never stands up for black women. She stands up for women, but she won't stand up for black women. Peep how these people are. And she came from TYT, and you know how TYT is, so.
It was shameful of Allred and Crockett jumped in with both feet on it, of the smearing of Tallarico down the stretch, which was to paint him as like anti-black. I think was disgusting and typical of certain parts of the Democratic Party. And it is very good that it lost, and hopefully we can turn the page on that sort of cynical type of
That's
campaign.
the thing. It was just so cynical.
And people saw through it. And there's maybe some people that don't yet, but everyone else is moving on.
It was shameful of Colin Allred and Jasmine Crockett for pointing out that what did he ever say to the black community? Show me. I've watched a lot of James Tallarico in the last few years. What has he said to or for the black community about what his community has been doing and saying? Nothing. He didn't reach out to black people. They were right. And you're talking about some parts of the, man, fuck you, Matt, you bitch. I really fucking hate these fucking sneaky ass bitch ass dudes like this who sit there and say shit like that after like no one's ever heard what they've been saying all this time. You sit there and act like you care about Black Lives Matter, but you don't. You don't think black voices matter. She has an individualized message because she has been attacked by the president, by his followers, and now by your followers, and lies no less. And you are perpetuating the lies and not telling the whole true story. You didn't cover the debate because he got dog walked. He had nothing to say except the stupid platitudes that he always says. He stood there with that dumb shit-eating grin on his face, and you guys just praised him for it because he's white. All he has to do is smile at you, and you're fine. You will accept anything he says. What is he actually going to do? What plans does he actually have of something to do, of what he's going to do and how he's going to fix things? And how is he going to do it from the Senate? How is he going to bring votes over from the other side of the aisle to this side? Because that's what we need in the Senate. How is he going to bring attention to that stuff? He's never called anybody out. He still didn't even call out Trump. But you're fine with that because you want someone who's you're now turning into TYT where you just want someone who's going to get along with all those people who literally just said that black people are worthless, who idolized the man who said that black people have smaller brains. And they're making statues to this man and they're praising this man. And all you're worried about is who's giving money to AIPAC so you can use it against them. And then you are just blaming everything on.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
But yeah, that's just my opinion. I hope you guys have an opinion on it. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm hoping that everybody's waking up, bro, because this is not a left-right issue anymore. Now this is just a center line. Is who do you stand with, and who do you think is? Or do you think we're equal, or do you think that you guys are superior to anybody? Laughable. All right, peace.
My dog Larry told me yesterday. Ooh, he said that over there he's gone. I said, Larry, don't play with me. He raised his right hand and said, I swear to God, you have been found, man, to swear belong. That even the dawn, you got to tell that even the dawn, ooh, they're eating the cats. What the hell going on? What the hell is going on? They dog like the kid.